Alrighty. Okay. So, just to kind of recap where I'm at. And then I'm gonna do something slightly different than the procedural generation today, I think. If I can get to it at least. Let's see. Just Unity wants to play. Would show it. I guess it's just really thinking about it. Really thinking about it. Okay, here we go. So this is the top-down view, obviously. But I've changed it so maximize this. What was that person that told me how to maximize? And I've now since forgotten how to do that. I thought it was like command space. But yeah, it's gone. That knowledge is gone. Anyways. Okay. So yeah, I've got like the procedural generation, I think, in a pretty decent place. And one thing I did is, so offline I kind of just went around and placed all the doors in all the rooms. And so now basically every single room has a door in it, which is cool. There's lots of things open, but obviously the thing that I realized when doing this is that with so many doors, my old system of having basically always only one unique code wasn't going to work. So what I'm doing now is I've made it so that the doors, I guess I'll see if I can find an example of this. Yeah, so you see how there's two M's here? It's only the one that I'm closest to will activate. Right, so this one will activate now, and then that one will activate now. So I've made that change, which I think is pretty good. I think that's not going to get too confusing. Like, it's, you just, whichever one you're closest to is the one that opens. And then it allows me to have the same letters kind of frequently enough that you'll actually get some practice in, right? So if you're just open stuff, like I found just like walking around, just going this, I've gotten a lot better just knowing what my letters are. At least these basic ones, all the kind of initial easy ones. Okay, yeah, so so the thought was that I'm gonna kind of leave procedural generation here, because the next thing that I was looking at was making like things to fill in the rooms and obviously things to loot and do that type of stuff. But if I'm gonna do things to loot and do that, I kind of need a system to support getting items to loot, right? So I could put a chest there, but then there'd be nothing to do with the chest, right? It would just be a chest that I couldn't really even interact with, because what would I be doing? I'd have an interact and say, hey, you got something. But then I might have to like build like a random points thing or something just for temporary use case, but that kind of seems a little pointless to do that kind of like level of makeshift work. So I'm thinking I'm probably not going to do that anymore. So with that kind of in mind, I was going to start looking at making an inventory system. But first, the only other thing that's annoying me is this flashlight. So one thing I actually changed is space still can be the signal, but I've also really just been liking doing that as the right mouse button. I find it's actually much easier to just tap that. Kind of reminds me more of like typing a Morse code thing anyways. But then I was thinking, I also really hate the way that my flashlight works. Because I have to press R to charge it, which is just a really unnatural place to start smashing. I just want to like charge this thing, which is kind of like a passive thing that I want to do, but it makes it very hard to like do other things. So either I would have to make it so that it's kind of really only like once like 30 seconds to a minute type of thing. So then it kind of isn't really that much of a thing to do, or I make it into an easier key spot. So I think I was actually gonna try to make it the mouse scroll, and then see how that works. So flashlight. And so I'm gonna take my flashlight, grab the code. Notice that this is not showing the nice vibrancy thing. Enable vibrancy. Restart. I think it's in vibrancy, and maybe synthwave also isn't actually. There we go. Yeah, I think also. Yeah, I think synthwave also got disabled. I don't know what happened. And, gotta have the nice visuals. It's not the same without it. There we go. Okay. Good stuff. Alrighty. And then how do I set these things up? Alright, because these are global values. So, could be. Anyways, okay. So, I was just gonna go, instead of get button down for charge input, I was gonna say, it's like, okay, so is it float? Isn't it? Like there's an actual input manager. I'm gonna probably have to change this at some point, but charge flashlight. Because I could change it to joysticks and scroll wheel. What if I do that? That might work. I don't know what you'd want to have. Do I have something that's already a scroll? Mouse scroll wheel. What is it? Settings. 001. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. 0, 0, not 1. Yeah, that's just like the pre-made one. Mouse movement, joystick, motion from all joysticks. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna do if float mouse charge equals input manager dot. I should have a get access in here. Yeah, okay. Get access string, and it is the charge flashlight string. Probably one day I will spend the time to actually not use that, but mouse charge does not equal 0. what I want to do is times it by math f abs of mouse charge. See if that works and how much it works by. Like, I have no idea. Well, it could be quite outrageous, or it could just be like very small at this point. So let's turn the flashlight on. It's not doing anything. I am scrolling and it does not do anything. Interesting. Oh, sir. Recompile. It's gonna get me so many times. Like, it'll just keep getting me. But, you know, hopefully one day I'll figure it out. Okay, turning flashlight on. Rolling still does nada. Okay. So why would that be? Get access charge. Okay, so obviously the one thought here would be that it's just not ever having a value. I can, I guess, just attach this here and verify that. I am definitely scrolling on the scroll wheel. Right, like the same thing down here as I'm doing here. Oh, mouse movement. That to be that. Ah, there we go. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Probably a little overtuned. Like it's a real... Right, like, does not take me long to back up. But it's probably nicer, just generally. So... Yeah, I always mix up the N. When did I open this one? I think that's pretty good. Yeah, okay. I'm happy with that for now. I should probably change the UI to reflect that, but I think that's pretty good. This. And not letting me select anything. That's fun. Buttons. For this one, I'm gonna not even say space. I'm gonna say RMD, right? Right mouse button, and then charge text. Scroll to charge. Okay, there you go. All right with me. At least then that should be clear enough. Okay. Oh, just a lot of like, doesn't even let me like select overrides. What was I going to do? Yeah, so I was going to get into inventory systems, and this is definitely going to be not a quick one and done type of inventory thing. This is going to be fairly substantial. There's going to be obviously a couple layers to this. Do I want to make in-game managers? I will have. I'm kind of tempted to just make its own, probably its own little section. Create folder inventory. Even though it will have a manager in there, arguably I should put in the manager section, but because it's like its own system, I might just make an inventory manager here. Now there's gonna be there's actually gonna be two managers. I'm just checking. So game managers, character manager, and difficulty manager. Yeah, so these things are literally like, this is it. There's for the entire time since the game is booted up, these things exist and stay in existence. Level managers really exist only for a level. And I actually kind of wonder if I need another level, because there's this level of inventory manager that I just wrote down kind of needs to exist for a game session, right? Like, so it's kind of like linked to a save in that aspect. Maybe like these should have been named global managers, because they're like literally, it doesn't matter if you reload, make a new game, do all these things. These guys still exist and still live on. So maybe calling them game managers was a mistake. Let's see, hubs. What do I define game manager. Oh, they're just here. Oh. That should actually be maybe easier than I think. Okay, so what I want to do, because this is just reference, so I can go rename. Oh, hey, Sickmish. How's it going? You were in like a couple streams ago. Welcome back. Okay. Right, okay, so I was gonna rename this. Renaming. And so he is gonna be, what is it gonna be? I'll call it global. Global manager? Or persistent manager? Persistent, I think. I like persistent because am I spelling persistent right? I don't think so. I think there's another S. Persistent. I need to Google this. Persistent. Persistent. Okay, I did get it right. Of course, then it went away. Were you the person that did like a lot of like hobby coding? If I remember correctly, or were you that somebody else? No, so just let me know if I'm speaking loud enough. I just always I'm unsure. Persistent manager. Okay, so rename that. And then I want to also rename in Unity this folder. Okay. Yeah, I think you just maybe asked about the game stuff. Assistant managers. Okay. And then in here, deciding to recompile on me because I guess I renamed the folder. Very important. Big change. Unity wants to spend 18 seconds thinking about. I want to know why it takes this long. Like, I don't know, it just seems excessive. Yeah, so I need to rename this one in Unity so that it doesn't lose the connection. Persistent. So I'm gonna like name this wrong in one spot, and then I'm only gonna notice it like in a year, and I'm gonna be annoyed because it'll be harder to rename it then. Okay. Persistent manager hub. Okay, so I think I've renamed these. Rename that. Okay. Assistant manager. Cool. And then alrighty. Okay. So then let's just make sure I didn't break this. It's still called Game Manager Hub here, but it's actually Persistent Manager Hub. Which is probably fine. I was just confused. like what happened to me. I've been changed, but it is the proper script, so with a given time, it'll understand what I've done to it. And then I will also rename this. Ooh, where do I spawn this thing? Okay. Of course, good thing I remember that, because that would. I already started spelling wrong. Persistent manager hub. Okay, so let's copy that, save that there, rename this guy in its entirety to that. Enter project settings. I thought it was then projects. Maybe that's why I've been trying to find editor. It was actually in the editor, enter play mode settings. Lower down. Enter play mode settings. Okay. Right. Okay. So now I can just reload domain. Okay, that's what I've been looking for. So that I don't have to reload manually. I should be able to just do that when it clicks play. Let's actually give it a test. See what happens. I recall that being a thing. I've just been like looking for it in the preferences, because that's what I thought it would be in preferences, because it's like a preference. I thought, but I guess not. Okay, so something's gone wrong. Yeah, just a couple of things went wrong there. The thing I want to instantiate is null. Okay. So this could not find that. Huh. I wonder if I have to go back to here, because he still maybe is confused about this whole thing, and then maybe refresh him. Or now it's reloading again. I don't know what it's reloading, but okay, now it should understand. Yeah, I guess that's fair. I guess like if you're swapping back and forth between projects, you might want it to be a project specific setting. Sure. Why is my mouse no longer working? Mouse wheel? So like, of course, okay. I guess input manager settings are not saved. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I thought these got saved when you switched out of play mode, but I guess it does not. So that should be back. So many things to just do. Eventually need to get a loading screen instead of having that like brief like no camera exists. But that doesn't need to be done for now. Okay, so now at least I've renamed my managers, done that also important thing, and now I've gotten managers, I've gotten level managers, assistant managers, and now I'm going to remake a type of manager called a game manager. I think that's probably the best name for it. The other ones have S's. They do. Game managers. And so this is going to solely depend on I'll just for now make the base class here. I don't know, because the game manager, the idea on this one is it persists through a save of a game, right? So while maybe I should organize these based on like where they live. And so a little comment exists through out life cycle of an OT app. This exists while in a loaded game session, and then this exists in a specific while in a specific level. Right, so that's kind of like the 3 levels. Yes, i.e. never gets destroyed. Okay. Yeah, I think that's good enough. It's good enough for me. Okay. So then I do need to go into hubs, and I need to make a create sharp script game manager hub. And let me just find level manager hub. I just want to see what do I do in this. So in awake, set the hub to be that, and then have a game over thing. But that's pretty simple. Okay. Basically, I only need to do this for now. Although eventually I'll probably have to do some sort of game. What is it? Base manager hub, base manager hub. And I'm going to doing game manager. And then obviously we're not a level manager, we are a game manager. Okay. There's gonna be some save load stuff here that I'm probably gonna have to implement per game manager. Which I'll deal with later, I think. Because I don't know what I'm going to be like passing into those. I guess I could just make them now and then pass in stuff later, but I'd rather deal with that at another point. Okay. Game manager hub. So now I have that, and then I just need to make a, I guess, so yeah, I had my inventory section. Now, do I put my inventory managers in there, or do I do them? I guess I should still put the managers in the manager folder, even though like it's kind of them separated. A little annoying, but you know, it's what it is. It is what it is. The managers will all be in there, and then you know, okay. I've got an inventory manager, but this is like gonna be like what the player owns, like what it's managing your inventory. And then I want to make a persistent manager, which will be the like item database. Item database. And I guess I'll still tack on a manager there, even though it's like it'll just be called item database. Oh, hello, sorry, everyone. Oh, gee. Go away. How do I? I need to go to Twitch to do this, don't I? Yeah. I always get so excited, and then it's just like some guy wanting to, or more like even some bot that's trying to like sell me something. They just love to annoy people and then distract me on whatever I was doing. Okay, I have an item-based item database manager, and this is probably what I'm going to spend the majority of today working on, because before I can hold items, I need to know that there's an item that exists. So that's what this is going to be doing. And so this one is a persistent manager. This one does things like, okay. Implement things for me. Wait, thank you. And then I do actually have to call on complete here for now, and otherwise bad things will happen. Okay. I have an item database manager. I have no a items there, so I will want to create I'm wondering, yeah, eventually I'm going to move this out of resources. I'm going to make like a folder in resources though, just to store some items. One day I will be not lazy enough to figure out asset bundles in a nice way and then just use those. But resources is just so nice and easy, you know? It's like so quick to get running. At least it's maybe not quick on performance, but you know, is what it is. Okay, so item data. So I was going to make this a scriptable object with a nice little create. Use create asset menu, right? Both file name. Okay, file name. So, right. Okay. So, oh. Right. Okay. So file name equals new item data. What were the other things that I wanted to do? Menu name. That is actually very important. Menu name equals assets create. I guess, I mean, probably I guess it's just item data, right? And then order doesn't really matter. Okay. So now I should just verify this all works. Create a folder, items, and then I should be able to go create, and then I should have an item data. Sweet. All right. Right. So what are my items going to be called? They're going to be, or like, what is an initial item? I don't know. A thing. No, that's pretty bad. I guess like scrap will be kind of a thing. So scrap for now. Let's have a little item thing called scrap here. So what I will want here is the name is probably fine. Like I can always just use the literal name that's defined here, right, as the name. But I don't know if this is gonna long term be nice, but sometimes you don't want to like have spaces and stuff in file names, but it should be. I don't think that's as much of a concern. So the other thing then is I'm gonna make an enum type for this. I'll just go collective type because it's already in item. What? Type. I guess, or no, it's gonna not like. Or is it? It's fine with that? Okay. Thought I was not gonna like it because it like overlaps with like system type and stuff like that, but seems to be fine with it. Okay. Yeah, on the top of my head, there's a couple of types. So resources, those like are currency based type things. Then there's going to be consumable, consumable. Then actually, do I want to? I guess no, I can separate them all like that. So this resources, consumable, and then just like junk for now. I don't know. There's gonna be more eventually. I will eventually make more, but for now it's probably enough. There's gonna be like upgrade materials or something. All right, fine. I'll just find materials for now. Materials. Although necessarily, like, do I need to have something that's quantified as like a material, or can it just be like non-junk? Just hypothetically, I could still use like a consumable to make something if I was like making a crafting thing or something later on. Which I am going to make crafting, but I guess yeah, they're just separated as materials, and then like specifically just like junk that has no use. Just you like sell it or something. And then maybe I'm gonna spend way too much time thinking about this probably, but I just want to make it so that the types should be like mutually exclusive for the most part, right? So something is consumable, like should it be material? Probably not. And I just said that it probably could be, right? Maybe materials is not like a correct thing to say. Do I... maybe like equipment might be a specifically different one. Maybe junk is just like not usable. The resources could encapsulate maybe like material type things too. That's probably okay. So right, like resources are things you like use to build things. Consumables are things you actually like use for a result. Equipment is something you like equip on a character, and then junk is like none of the above. That's probably fine for now. That's most of the use cases. And then in the actual item data is what I'll have as some default stuff here. So then item data will of course have a public type, type, and then definitely going to be a couple of things here. So like public int stack limit, which will by default be 1. I only have like 1 by default, but I might have things that are more than 1 stack. And then that's probably all I need for now. I can probably like more things. I wonder if like maybe I should, would I be like inheriting from this? Why don't I instead of having a type, I could just use like an inheritance flow here. Right, so I could have a junk scriptable object type equipment object, because then you'd actually have like fields that are unique to these, right? Right? That probably makes more sense than having an enum. Because like there's going to be unique fields for sure, and I think then it makes more sense to have just a base item type, and then I can like separate it up by types as well. But probably is fine. There might be some things that the thing I'm thinking of now is that I might have to like still when I have my item database go through this and define like types, it'll have to also have like levels, right? So like if I have like, I don't even know for one weapons, but like in the case that I do make a weapon, right? I'd have a weapon, which is a type of equipment, which is then an item, right? So there'd be 3 levels of inheritance structure, and I'd want the item database to know that it is a weapon type, but it's also a equipment. So maybe I do something in the flow there to handle that. Maybe I make a public. This is gonna be, I guess this is gonna be abstract, which is gonna throw that one object I made for a loop. I guess I also just remove that for now. So public. Abstract system dot type right, and then basically I'm going to find a get there. I think stack limit's still going to be universal. I don't know what else will be universal at this point, so I'll leave it at that. And so what I'll do then is I'll go this is not going to like that in a second, but let's go create C# script junk data. Maybe I should call it junk item. Yeah, just junk data. So junk will inherit from item data, and it will implement the abstract. I'll also paste this new junk data, junk data, and then I'm going to make the thing that this overrides to handle like basically the tags that I was referring to. I'm going to make a private static junk types. And it's going to just include type of junk data, right? And so then if I have things that inherit multiple types, I just make an array that has multiple. And then that's how I can have multiples. I don't know. Right, so I think that kind of makes some sense there. And so I'm going to delete you because you don't make any sense right now. guess I should, in here, I'm gonna go item data slash. Great, item data, junk data. Okay, and now I'll just type in scrap here. Yeah, it's a stack limit of, I don't know, 64. Sure. But now I have some data I'm gonna work with. Guess one thing that there always should have is also have like a public string description. I guess eventually I'll have to have like an image as well. Will be a whole thing when I get there. That's at least something. Why not? I'll just add the public sprite. Sprite, sure. Okay. I don't think I probably have an image that's probably appropriate for that, but yeah, I don't even really think I have any sprites generally in this project that can be just forced into servitude here. I actually imported a UI thing, so maybe. A lot of random buttons here. It'll be a little cog, I guess. I don't know. That's good enough for now. Or whatever. Be a cog. Little scrap cog. Okay. And so then the whole point of just making something is so that I can go into my item database and actually do things. So I'm going to in here go resources, load all, item data, the path items. And then this will return to me an array of item data. Okay. And then having all these items. I'm gonna like make a dictionary thing of them, I guess. Just wonder how am I going to do this. So I guess would I make a dictionary? We have like a nested dictionary here, which might be crazy, but the first level of system.type, and then I have another dictionary that will be string and item data. And then this will be item data map or something. All right, and so then I go through here, I go and I say go for each item data in items. Go through all of these guys, and then I will first add in the item data map they have a try add now, right? Yeah. Okay, so try add. Ooh, but it's a little... Right now, so I'll do a try get here. Yeah, actually, for the first one, I'll just make it so item data map is because I want to have the initial item data map dot type of item data. And actually, what I'll do is go dictionary of string and item data. Base map equals new that. And then in here, I will just I know now always that I have my base map, and I can map that to our dot add. Yeah, no, it should be fine to add them here. Okay, so and it'll be item data dot name comma item data. Then for each, I guess if item data dot types dot has count, then I will go and for each this system type in item data dot types. And so here I have to do the whole like if item data map dot try get value type comma out dictionary of string comma item data map like type map, be a little bit more specific. In this case I only want to do this if I fail this. I want to do something in here. I want to go type map equals new dictionary da da da, and then I'm gonna go and you type equals type map. Then down here I go type map equal dot item data dot name equals item data. Okay. And so that should basically go through and then add them all into this relevant like mapping. And so just to kind of play around with this and see how it works. And did it actually recompile? Okay, so gameplay UI, wrap, gameplay UI. Okay, so first I need to go to resources. I need to go to persistent managers. Then I'm going to add the item database manager here. Shouldn't have to do anything, it should just have to exist here. And then now when I play, why does it not want to? Okay, no, it's understanding that. Okay. Just to look at this guy here. So now it has item data, which has one, which has scrap, and then obviously the type is up, and then the scrap, and then it's junk data. Yeah, okay. I think that's a pretty good way of organizing it, at least. And then I can just quickly add some methods here for like public t get string name, and then this will just be where t extends from item data, and then I go and go to underscore item data map dot. Guess I would try get type of t comma out type map, and then all right, dictionary, you know, of string and item data. I got my type map, and then I go underscore type, and I guess I should make this in the if statement. Instead of just like straight after the if. And then type map dot try get value of name comma out item data item, and then return item as e. Otherwise, return null. That's how I can do get of a specific type for a specific name, and then I would also be able to do like a get all. I don't know if I'd really ever need to do this. I don't know if this is like super bad, but I could just go new list, go type map dot values, right? Does that actually work, or is it? It's a value collection. Can I go get enumerator? That work? No. Okay. I'm being silly here, I think. Yeah, okay, fine. I would just have to yeah, I would just have to go for each var key val in especially because it's not already cast. Right, so I guess I could always just put this one up here and then turn an empty list. And then in here we just go if key val dot value is t value, then we go list dot add value. Kind of expensive way to do that. So don't want to be calling this often, but like, I don't know, if I need like, for some reason to display all the items of a specific type, maybe in like a database visualization somewhere, I could call that and just get it. Probably be fine. So, but there's at least two methods that interact with this database. This database should probably have some sort of static reference to it, because I think most of these do. Just right, so character manager, for example. Yeah, it just has an instance, and then it probably initializes itself in the, yeah, okay. Do the same thing. Public static public static item database manager. I'm tempted to just call it DB. I think I'm not doing get private set then in here DB equals this. I made the I recently went okay, yeah, this was the one that or right, it was game manager hub. Yeah, okay. I was just verifying that I did do the private set there. Okay. So item database manager has all that. So I think that's basically what I need to do for that database. It has items, it does things like that. That's cool. And then what is next? Next is probably just inventory manager. Which going to be interesting because actually, I wonder if I should make this instead of types, I should make it make strings. Like, yes, it kind of removes the whole type part about it. But what I'm thinking about is there's like a whole serialization side of it. So like the data side, I like to be types. But if I'm having like a saved item list, right? So like all the items that I have, I will need to save the type. And that can't necessarily save at system type. Or this is not as nice. So it should probably be a string there. But then how do I bridge those two? I guess that might be the case where like an enum is nice. But the one thing I don't like about enums is that they serialize not what you expect them to. They often serialize in ints, which I feel like just is error prone. So I feel like the string is the better thing to save as. So if I was gonna go into this, like if I wanted to find an item, like I could store this item type. I guess each time, what I could do, okay. So I could create like a string to type map or dictionary, right? So you could input a string and then you would get the type back. And then when I save, I just save the type name. Right, because like if I breakpoint here. Right, so if I'm breaking here, I am looking at type. His name is just junk data, right? So that's a nice, that's not gonna get messed up. The only possible downside to this is if I rename a class, right? So it would mean that if I ever say, if I ever had saves and I renamed a type here, it would just blow things up save wise. Like that would be a restriction that like I can't rename item types without invalidating all your items basically. And if I'm really actually saving all that much by just making it strings. Like, why don't I just make it strings right away? Probably better. I can just const them and then like I don't, if I rename these I can still create like I can save the underlying names. There's never gonna be a situation where like I react and rename this and it's just like totally destroys all saves. Because to me that does not seem like a good state to be in, where you're in a position where you can just nuke all your saves. Yeah, and there's some ways that I can kind of make this handle inheritance a little bit nicer, so you can have like run times of because these are static, you can make them obviously it should be static read only as a starting thing, but also I can make them like the ones that aren't read only, like if something has multiple chains, they can just take the underlying types and then use those. So I guess I should make this protected by default. That should be fine. And then item database manager for each string. And then, yeah, this is no longer going to be system type. It'll be a string. Although, okay. You break the niceness of this, though, which is unfortunate. Because it is kind of nice to just go like get T, and that T is the type. But maybe there's just nothing to be done about it. Does actually bring up a decent point, though, that I could probably make this into something that's not in this map here. All right, so and then I don't do that, but I still add things to it. So I have everything added to the base map. And that's how we go. And then there's get with the types, and then there's just going to be a item data This would basically just be score base map turn item. So that's fine. I do have to keep in mind, so the way I've now set it up is that actually I guess even before I set it up like this, that I really can't, even like if it's a different type of an item, I can't have a named item that has the same name. That'll not be nice for the system. But that should probably be fine. Yeah, that probably is actually reason enough, though, that I actually should go into item data and have a public string display name. I'll even do things where most of the time when I get it, if I don't have anything set, then I can default back to like that, but like the name of the thing, but it'll just make things a little bit easier. Okay, so I set that up so that I have my map. Yeah, and the whole thing again was so that I can have serialized values. It actually informed me on my things here. Although, just thinking back here, I already couldn't have the same item with the same name. I could have just saved the name, and I wouldn't have to care about the type, and I would have got to keep my nice typing. I like my types. My types are nice. I think, okay. You know, I just made that change. I'm gonna make it back again. Then like doing a little mini refactor and then, you know, just undoing it almost as soon as you get there. Okay, and then yeah, because if obviously I don't have to care about saving part, just having them as types I think is nicer for the ease of use there. Okay, there we go. And then yeah, as well. There we go. Okay, So all good in compiling. Hopefully we're good in compiling. Needs to be good. I don't see any errors. Okay, cool. I guess give it a quick run. Why can't be no? Oh, that's like a Unity thing. Unity's just being weird. Why is my scroll not working? Large flashlight, mouse movement. Oh, is it? Oh, it's just not on. Okay. Oh god. Okay. Okay. Cool. So now I have some scrap. Let's just make another item and call it I don't know, wires. And maybe we'll call this like specifically scrap metal. And then, so now I'll have both wires and that, and then I'll call this wires and just I don't know. Just need some, oh god. Just need some sort of values for that. Okay. And then what I want to be able to do here is start looking at the other side of this. So in the game managers here, just still haven't even loaded. Eventually, I'm gonna have to create empty. I'm gonna call this a game manager. And I'm gonna add the game manager hub and the inventory manager. And I will drag it back into here. I'm gonna quickly stub in a new manager. The amount of managers you need to make like this one inventory system like click is potential. But I'm gonna create a save manager. And then he is going to be a assistant manager as well. Gonna have to implement that. And he'll have the on-complete as well. But so the thing that I have to do here is just thinking of how I eventually want to do this. I think eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to have I did want to create folder saves. I don't know if this is going to actually have much in it, but at least it's going to have one C# script. This is going to be a scriptable object. And I'll like so there's a bug flying around my face. I will make a create asset menu here. A little weirder to make one of these. The idea here is that I should be able to have a like a serialized scriptable object that I can then like export to JSON when I actually want to save it, and then load it back up, and then I should be able to look at it. But for now, I'm just gonna have like this probably empty save file here. So file name will equal and menu name then I'll have a temp public save data underscore debug load. Then I'm going to have a public load, void load. Because eventually you're going to have to like load back the state and load back all these other crap. But for now, I'm just going to pass in a load, save data. And what this is going to do is this guy's probably going to be the only guy that consciously knows about the game manager. So if game manager dot ins hub, that's what it's called. Right. Dot hub does not equal null. So then this should actually have the whole thing of probably some things of public void we'll have it initialize, and this will take save data. Okay, so then instead of initialize, so I'm just gonna go save and then 2 over right, which wait, I'm gonna not do this yet, but right, obviously this is still to do. And then there's gonna be a public void unload. Which for now, and I'm gonna wait. So in this, I will put in a action on complete. Yeah, so at this point it's gonna be like this is confirmed. I'm just thinking about whether or not I wanted to handle like canceling at this part, but I think I don't really care at this point. Like I'll handle it before I call this thing on the save manager. Destroy new hub, and then go on complete. So eventually I might be like unloading stuff that's... Eventually I'll probably have to unload the managers and stuff like that, call things on there, but when those are all done, then I'll fully unload. Okay. And then this initialize, same thing. It'll probably have some sort of stuff. I don't know if I need to make this have something like this, but it'll just call for now. Right, like obviously there's a lot more that can be thrown in there, but just for now I need to stub in that so that I wonder if I could go void unload complete, right, and then unload complete, and I would turn here, and otherwise I would go on unload complete, right, and then I basically do the rest of the method in here. And the rest of the method here would be creating a new game hunch manager. So do I just resource load it, or do I just drag it references? I probably just can have the reference chain here. Utilize field. Actually, I have to watch the time here. So, good. Serialize field, private, game manager hub, instance, or hub prefab, and this one, the other one down here can also, yeah, this should be private as well. Nice. Okay, and then we'll instantiate prefab. Right, so I create my hub, and then call hub dot initialize this save data. Yeah. And this has the incomplete, so I'll probably just put I guess an incomplete here. On connection on complete. Yeah, okay. I was just thinking whether or not eventually I might want to have something to like auto track if it fails at some points here, but that should be fine. This will probably also need an on-complete because I feel like that might be something that might take a couple of frames. Okay. Unload, on-complete, hub, dub. Initialize just calls this. Your wake should have happened by then, which will have called the whole getting managers and everything. So, and in that point is basically where I would go, and I would go to my game managers. And they will have a public, a void, initialize. I didn't want to derail this into making another thing, but I need to make another thing. Util. I'm gonna eventually need something like this. I'm gonna make it dependency tracker. Dependency. I don't know if that's an A. It's supposed to be an A. Let me do my Google search. Dependency. Alright, I spelled it right. Sweet. So bright. Oh. Jeez. Whew. Blinded myself with the Google search. Turn on another light just to keep it relatively nicer. Okay. It's just a class that I've created before in Life. And it's just nice. So I'm gonna make a pool. Should actually be private static equals new non-generic stack. Oh. Dot generic. There we go. Happy now? Okay. And then in here I will have a public static simple dependency tracker get function. It will simply say if pool out simple dependency tracker, then we will return a tracker. Otherwise, we will just return a new simple dependency tracker, and it will resolve itself there. I'm going to have a private simple dependency tracker constructor saying only can create via get method. Okay, and then the actual meat and bones of this thing is that we will have the idea is this: you basically add a bunch of actions, and once they get called, then they remove themselves, and then they're done, right? So we have a public list of what are my lists of? Let's do the actions. What did I do when I made this originally? Maybe I just made an increment each time, because I basically what I want to try here is so I think in the last one I used an int counter, right? The thing I'm just trying to think about, so the idea is that you add like an action, and then when it calls it, it removes itself. And then when it finishes completely, actually, the get has to do, complete, right? So I should have a private action on complete and tracker dot the underscore on complete equals on complete here, and then in here we'll paste. Whoa, what did I just do? Okay. Do have to wrap up in like 2 minutes probably, fortunately, because I'm not going to finish this. But it is what it is, you know. You get done what you can get done, and then, you know, you continue on later on. And then on complete underscore on complete equals on complete. Okay. But the basic premise here was public action create callback, right? And I guess I could make it a hash set of actions. Oh, actually, no, I can handle this. So, yeah, I don't need this. Okay. False, and then I will create a void on complete method in here that will set if as completed equals false. Then I'll set has completed to be equal to true. And I still need the int, right? Int underscore remaining equals 0. Actually, I set it to 1. And only in this case will I minus it. Actually, I'll put that underneath there, and then if underscore remaining equals 0. Then I will complete it. Just need like 3 more minutes. So complete. Then the uncomplete here, I will go on complete. Invoke. My underscore remaining I will set it back to 1, and then I will go and add myself to the pool. Push this so I can get back into the stack. And then I return on complete. And that kind of creates the loop. The only other thing I need here is public void set ready, which simply will just go remaining minus. So it'll handle the case where they're all done. Or there's nothing sit there. Okay. Anyways, that's it. I do have to get going because I have to do something. But thanks again, Sixmesh, for stopping by. I don't know if you're still here, but if you are, that's cool. Otherwise, just thanks for joining when you did. And otherwise, thanks for watching.